Roman Reigns returns on SmackDown. Gunther defends his Intercontinental Championship against Ricochet. And John Cena makes a big announcement. All this and more on SmackDown Breakdown. Hey guys, how you all doing? The Wrestling Guy back here today. Welcome to another episode of SmackDown Breakdown, the series where we have a little look at everything that's happened on this week's episode of SmackDown, have a look at the matches, the promos, and all of the other bits and pieces that happened this week. We're going to break it all down for you guys here on the channel. So if you guys do go on to enjoy, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We're approaching the end of 2022 now, so let's see what WWE have in store for us this week on SmackDown. Kicking things off, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match. We had the defending champions, Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control. They would be going up against Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox. Obviously, the returning Tegan Nox after her return to WWE a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. She has aligned herself with Liv Morgan, and they would be taking on the women's tag champions of Io Sky and Dakota Kai. The babyfaces would dominate a lot of this match. Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox having a lot of the offense here. A bit of interesting chemistry between the two. There was a point where Tegan Nox went to use the Liv Morgan went to use the kendo stick, only to be intercepted by Tegan Nox to stop themselves from getting disqualified. And this worked out really, really well. This all played into a really good story about this whole change in Liv Morgan's character and what we can expect to see with this going forward. Kind of after the commercial break, the favour kind of shifted quite heavily towards Damage Control. In this match, they kind of isolated Tegan Nox quite a lot, and that then built up nicely for when she was able to tag out to Liv Morgan. So it all flowed in a really, really nice manner here. At the end of the match, we had an unknown assailant in a black hoodie come down, and they would attack Tegan Nox, costing them the match. Io Sky would hit her lovely moonsault. I absolutely love Io Sky's moonsault to successfully defend their titles. Damage Control are still your WWE Tag Champions. These two teams had some absolutely fantastic chemistry. They really gelled well together. All four women knew exactly what they needed to do and all played their part really, really well here. In terms of this mystery assailant, no, I wasn't sure who this was going to be heading into this one. I thought that this was going to be maybe Chelsea Green, as a lot of fans have. There's been a lot of speculation about her maybe returning to WWE at some point, so that would have been a good fit. Later on in the night, though, we would know that this mystery woman was revealed to be Xia Li. This was announced on WWE.com. It was Xia Li. How does this play out going forward? We'll have to keep an eye out. Some other bits to kick things off that I really, really enjoyed. Michael Cole would start things off with, "It's Friday and you know what that means," in reference to the late Brody Lee / Luke Harper. It would have been his 43rd birthday today, so rest his soul. Happy birthday, Brody. We miss you. Hope you're having a blast up there. But yeah, really nice tribute there. There was a couple more tributes towards Brody Lee that we saw later in the night, which we will go into when we get round to it. The next the next event in this night, we had LA Knight would call out Bray Wyatt. So a week after being abducted by Bray Wyatt backstage, a furious LA Knight would come down to the ring and call out Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt would come out and he would claim that he hadn't, both Wyatt and Knight know where this story would end. What LA Knight, you could see the frustration, you could see the anguish building up inside him. He wasted little time. He would attack Bray Wyatt until a pre-taped video from Uncle Howdy would air. And he would say, "You want to see something really scary?" From there, he'd step out onto the stage, and for the first time, we would actually see this Uncle Howdy in person. And it would kind of, this just all worked really well. It was a newsworthy segment. It was a big chapter in the story, this building up with this Bray Wyatt since Extreme Rules. It desperately needs something for fans to sink their teeth into and to really take hold of. And I think they did an absolutely fantastic job on this one. Big thumbs up for the Wrestling Guy there. Bray Wyatt really, really paid a big tribute to Harper opening his promo with yeah. "Little pig, what have you done?" Uncle Howdy would say, revealing that him and Wyatt are apparently not one and the same. What does this mean going forward? Are we going to eventually find out what this Uncle Howdy character is? We shall see going forward. Our next match of the evening, the Intercontinental Championship match, the match that myself and I think a lot of wrestling fans were looking forward to, between Gunther and Ricochet. So, for those of you who've seen the past couple of weeks on SmackDown, you'd know Ricochet is the winner of the World Cup. He would end up defeating Mustafa Ali, Braun Strowman and Santos Escobar. He'd be challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship in this huge rematch between the two. Over the past couple of weeks, Ricochet has been emphasising the fact that he is not afraid of the ring general, even though he's larger and stronger than he is. The challenger did end up on the defense a lot in the early parts of this match. He was getting caught in a lot of big power moves by Gunther, made it look like it was potentially going to be a big squash match at one point. But Ricochet would finally be the ultimate underdog that he is, make his way back into the match, hit Gunther with a huge brainbuster and then a shooting star press, but he would only get a very close 2 count on there, keeping the fans electric, fired up, fully behind Ricochet to get the win here. Gunther was able to get hold of Ricochet there, deliver his new finisher, which we now know is the Last Symphony, to retain his championship. Gunther, in my opinion, is one of the Wrestlers of the Year contenders. He is just absolutely fantastic. He has picked up the ball that is the IC title and he has absolutely ran with it, doing an absolutely fantastic job on here. This match was absolutely brilliant. The striking was fantastic. It was dynamic. It had power. It had speed. Everything that you'd want from a wrestling match was all thrown into this one here. Both competitors, you could tell that there was some prestige behind this match because both competitors gave it absolutely everything, and it was an absolutely fantastic match. Braun Strowman would come down to the ring at the end of the match to assist Ricochet and give him a bit of a celebration for his fantastic performance in the match. This is proving on the fact that Ricochet and Strowman are maybe going to be a unit going up against Gunther and Imperium. Next week it was announced that on SmackDown it's going to be a street fight. It's going to be Ricochet and Strowman versus Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium. So keep an eye out for that one. I think that one's going to be a really, really good one on there, and could give us a little bit more regarding this storyline building up between Gunther and Strowman. We shall see going forward. Up next, we had a triple threat tag team match. It was Hit Row versus Viking Raiders versus Legado del Fantasma, with the winning team earning a shot at the Usos for the undisputed tag titles next week on SmackDown. They'd be coming down to the ring with their respective female managers, B-Fab for Hit Row, Valhalla for Viking Raiders, and Zelina Vega for Legado del Fantasma. This match was really good. There was some action, there was hard-hitting moves, there was agility in there. The women got involved on the outside, which was really, really good. There were brawls spilling outside of the ring, there were brawls in the ring. This was just a lot of fun. You got a lot from this match. This wasn't necessarily the most fluid of matches. You wouldn't look at this match as one of the most polished matches that we've seen for a little while. The big botch by Top Dollar going over the top rope was quite a scary one, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is what's caused him to potentially have a knee injury. If you guys haven't seen it, I'd recommend you guys go and check that one out. It'd be interesting to see if he was actually hurt with this one, and he was because he was clearly affected, especially on his kind of left side, his left leg and knee area. You could tell by the rest of the match. But apart from all of that, Hit Row were able to pick up the win on this one, meaning it will be Hit Row versus the Usos for the undisputed tag titles next week on SmackDown. Obviously, it will all be broken down here on the channels, guys, so make sure you turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content. So, we would end off the night with Roman Reigns returning to SmackDown. So, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, would come down to the ring with the Bloodline for the closing of this week's SmackDown. He would address the fans, and then he would talk about Sami Zayn and would say to Sami Zayn he did not remove the honorary from Sami Zayn's title as Sami Zayn had hoped and expected. The look on Zayn's face when he received this news was absolutely fantastic. I think Sami Zayn is one of the best things, not just on SmackDown, but in wrestling generally at the minute. He's just so good with what he's able to do. He, in my opinion, is one of the best performers in the company. and he could even be a contender for Superstar of the Year in my opinion. He's just so good. The Bloodline have got a new t-shirt out, which I really like on there. I would go and check that out on the WWE shop. Really liked that one. That he reiterated there was going to be a tag match on the December 30th episode of SmackDown. It was going to be Kevin Owens and a tag partner of his choosing. With that, John Cena would appear on the video screen. The fans absolutely erupted for this. Big fans of John Cena. WWE did a fantastic job with how they did this on here. They did it looked really good. We knew that Cena was going to be on the December 30th episode of SmackDown. We found this out a couple of weeks ago. But for him to compete in an actual match is a big deal for a lot of wrestling fans, and could open up a lot of the story as to who could be the next potential big challenger for Roman Reigns at the Rumble. Inserting John Cena into this kind of three-way rivalry we've got between Zayn, Owens and Reigns, I think was a really good move for the storyline. And it kind of adds a little bit of spice as to what will happen with the Rumble and who will potentially challenge Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. The hot favourite at the moment is still Kevin Owens, but we'll see what happens. But John Cena is back, and he's going to team up with Kevin Owens in the tag match against Reigns and another member of the Bloodline. So let me know down below in the comment section. Are you happy with that? What do you guys think? So that's this week's episode of SmackDown Broken Down for you guys. If you did enjoy, like I said, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.